Welcome back to Checkpoint. Now, tonight, KTN has obtained a damning monetary report linking the Kenya Women Teachers Association, Kewota, to a multi-million shilling scheme allegedly targeting over 150,000 female teachers across the country. The report reveals that in alleged collusion with TSC, millions of shillings are deducted from female teachers' salaries, funds that have first remitted to a government account before being withdrawn under questionable circumstances by Kewota officials. At the center of the scandal is Kewota CEO Benta Upande, who is reportedly under investigation by government agencies over alleged money laundering. She's also accused of nepotism, with claims that several of her children have been employed within the association. And as KTN's investigative journalist Lenox Sengre now details, a whistleblower working closely with the CEO has lifted the lead on the operation, detailing how millions were allegedly delivered to officials at TSC and KRA to sustain the illegal deductions. Take a look.
It is a scandalous organization. It has never promoted the interest of lady teachers.
How was this money leaving teachers' payslips and coming to an organization of 3 people or 4 people?
So anytime money hits a Kewota account, me, I would be sent to go and withdraw the money.
I feel our payslip is so much vulnerable.
There is no way you can deduct money from a teacher's payslip and get away with it. I'm telling you, Utalala Committee.
The Kenya Women Teachers Association, Kewota, was founded under the slogan, "My Sister's Keeper." But beneath that inspiring slogan lies a shadowy web laced with claims of secrecy and questionable financial dealings.
You see,
one that has left over 150,000 female teachers struggling under shrinking payslips. Many of these teachers claim they were compelled to join the association through their employer, the Teachers Service Commission, TSC. From the payslip, the burden is clear. Mandatory deduction of 200 shillings per teacher every month translates to nearly 30 million shillings. Money that KTN investigations can now reveal ends up in the hands of a few individuals.
At TSC, they would give us the payroll of all, the register of all teachers, and especially female teachers. Then they would be taken directly into our payroll.
This money seemed to have ended up in the hands of 3 people. Benta Upande, Dorothy Mudhoni, and Jacinta.
Nilikuwa naangalia my payslip juzi, nimekatwa about 8,000 and some hundreds there. But I never signed a form ya kwamba voluntarily nataka kukatwa pesa. No, I did not. I just found that there was a deduction of 200 from my payslip. Upon perusal and investigating, then we came to realize it was about the Kewota.
I feel our payslip is so much vulnerable. I don't know who is this that is authorized to use it any time they feel that they need to, without our consultation.
They know where this story is coming from a guy who we are taking to court for defrauding the organization more than 9 million. I have the evidence. So once you expose, then we also go ahead with our staff. A guy we sacked, we dismissed for defrauding the organization 9.8 million. With evidence of bank payments, emails from him, videos.
There existed a syndicate between now the officials and also now TSC. Those teachers were being deducted, they were not filling any form.
In a letter dated January 25, 2019, from the State Department for Public Service, Kewota was allocated checkoff number 584 by the government, effectively opening the door to direct deductions from teachers' salaries for welfare contributions, including building and sinking funds. The letter reads in part, "This office has examined your application and is satisfied that your welfare has met the requirements for the allocation of the checkoff code." The letter also directs, "Consequently, authority is hereby granted for you to use checkoff number 584 in the government payroll. However, the government warned that the code must not be transferred or misused, and that it will not be responsible for day-to-day transactions." But that aside, inside Kewota's operation lies an intricate web of family ties that blurs the line between public service and private gain. Sintandegwa, who is Kewota's treasurer, earns a monthly salary of 270,000. Her influence stretching across multiple layers of the organization. Rounding her is a close-knit circle of her relatives. Beatrice Nduta, her daughter, is a legal officer at Kewota, earning 100,000 shillings monthly. Julius Muthe, who is Ndegwa's nephew, manages data with salary of 160,000 shillings, while Kimani Wanjiru, another nephew, occupies a strategy officer's role. The driver Kimani Mugo, who is Jacinta's husband, takes home 280,000 shillings monthly. Another nephew, James Waititu, oversees the Kiambu's office as an administrator. Another nephew, Mureidi, does the same at Kewota's branch. At least this is not just an organization, but a tightly woven family enterprise.
From the payroll in our possession, it shows that your daughter, husband, and at least 3 nephews are employed by Kewota. Yes.
I'm not married.
Are these allegations true or false?
Sasa, number one. Number one,
Yes.
saying my husband.
Yes.
I'm not married myself.
What about your daughter?
After network vizuri.
I can hear you.
I'm saying wacha tu nitafuta tu kidogo.
The pattern extends to the top. Benta Opande, the brains behind Kewota, has taken it a notch higher and has brought her own relatives into the fold. According to the payroll records in our possession, her son Dan Oswago earns 250,000 in marketing department. Her daughter Samantha Oswago, a lawyer, commands the same salary. Another son handles media, earning 200,000 shillings, while her daughter Judith Oswago works as a consultant, earning 200,000 shillings. The news eating list continues with Elsie Nicole. Her niece is the same one who runs the Kisumu's office. The list is stinking and unending. Benta's brother, Peter Opande, manages the Kericho's office. This despite the fact that the Kericho office does not exist and only exists in the fertile minds of Kewota's top officials. Another brother serves as a consultant, earning sums of money from the teachers' payslips. KTN has established that Matthew Opande is an accountant at the KICC.
We have people at Kewota. We have one family who has more than almost 10 members, 10 family members working at Kewota headquarters and Kewota branches across the country. Whereas some branches just exist on paper, but they are members of family who are receiving money from that coffers.
The documents within our reach
Yes.
reveals that at least 11 of your relatives,
Yes.
including your son,
Yes.
daughter,
Yes.
occupy positions at Kewota
Yes.
with combined monthly salaries exceeding 2.5 million.
Yes.
How do you respond to the accusation?
So since you are investigating,
Yes,
I think I have no response to give.
yes.
Then just go ahead with your investigation, and if you have found the fact,
Yes.
because you know me, I can lie to you.
Actually, one of the reasons why there have been problems right now at Kewota is because people who seem to have been very close to Benta in terms of either family or maybe other relationships have actually had clashed with her. You know, so it's a question that there was no proper tendering. You know, when an organization is founded on falsehoods, it is possible that kind of things can happen.
So we are really not aware who is this that is authorized to issue our payslips without a single consultation. We just happen to see a deduction popping in your payslip.
They should have informed the female teachers on their intentions. They should have told us about it, because we never knew about Kewota until we saw it in our payslip. Yes, we had never heard of Kewota.
The list grows longer. Rosemary Opande, sister to the CEO, coordinates the Kisumu's office. Sarah Lamolo Anis heads the Eldoret office. What emerges in an organization where blood ties, not merit, determines who gets hired and at what salary? To keep this machinery running, monthly consultancy fees is channeled to top honchos and the Teachers Service Commission. The money is paid in cash and some through M-Pesa transactions. Official employees on payroll are overpaid, and then they withdraw the money in cash.
So anytime money hits the water account, it's very easy for me. I would be sent to go and withdraw the money. Just by a matter of phone call from one Madam CEO, Benta, and one Madam Jacinta. Then the money would be given in cash, and we would agree on the location where the delivery would be made.
It's a good idea that female teachers may need a voice. But the foundations of Kewota, that it was founded on falsehoods, that it was built on falsehoods and a form of corruption by taking teachers' money without informing them, has made it lose its credibility and legitimacy.
The only thing they were doing, I started seeing them buying tanks for ladies. And they were buying tanks for ladies who have retired. You hear they are buying a tank, and then they will put it online. They had bloggers. Actually, they were paying bloggers. Although I hear majority of those bloggers have come out of favor from them. So that's how actually Kewota was a bloggers organization.
It's an organization for the retired female teachers. It's their getaway retirement package. Yeah, and they are using the teachers who are on the payroll to enrich themselves, which is not right. Yeah, because if they want an organization or association for the retired female teachers, then why not organize for themselves such and get their own money from somewhere else? But why use money for the teachers who are currently working to benefit the retirees?
A series of WhatsApp messages between the CEO and the intermediary seen by KTN reveals details the transfer of hundreds of thousands of shillings to individuals linked to the Teachers Service Commission, TSC, and other state agencies.
The highest amount that has ever been delivered to these TSC officials, there was a proxy in between who was being given the money now to take to the real official. I don't know, I don't want to mention his name, but he's one senior person But the money would go to Donholm branch, where we opened the second account. But on this particular day, we went to Donholm and they didn't have this money. It was on a Friday, evening around 5. The bank had already been closed. So we were directed to Equity branch next to Taj Mahal area. We went, we found the money was ready because the bank manager at Donholm called the other bank manager. Then the money, we picked the money and we drove all the way towards Muthaiga. Before Muthaiga, next to DC headquarters, there's a hotel. I've forgotten the name. But if I go there, I think I can tell. We went there and found the said person who was to collect the money. And we gave out the cash.
The CEO continued to issue more derogatory statements to 2 KRA officers who demanded 16 million to protect her, and I quote, "They are 2 officers. One is a very stupid, arrogant Kalenjin something, sending the number he uses to call me. He's the relationship manager to the Kewota account. The other is another hungry-looking Kamba girl called Mercy." Further grievances include a failure to increase union membership by the promised deadline, the closure of the TAC portal for the 2 months following the intervention by a person named as Jacinta, and equally troubling is the absence of temporary certificate from the Registrar of Trade Unions.
It's a backstreet organization. You can't know who is in charge. You can't know what its work. You can't even explain to teachers.
Kewota was at pains trying to explain to teachers who they were, because they suddenly deducted money and they don't even introduce themselves to teachers. And that became very, very curious. You know, it was a matter of concern.
Payments to TAC officials were also paid through M-Pesa. Verified M-Pesa statements in our possession show a trail of transactions, while another director at the TAC, who is in the race to become the TAC CEO, allegedly received 100,000 shillings on January 13, 2024. To avoid a paper trail, the payment system was changed to cash.
I took money to one Mr. is on payroll at Kewota. Up to now, he's being paid sum of up to 100,000 every month. And on this list, this is my M-Pesa statement. I did it once. The second time I took it in cash. Then another person I'll mention is Madam. From my M-Pesa list, I delivered around 70,000 Kenya shillings because it was being given in bits 50-50 or 20-20 or 20-30. Or at times, Madam Benta would tell you, give me out of or out of Lillian's fee, a sum of like 100,000 would be sent to my personal account. Then I go remove and take it in cash. I would give Benta half the amount and take the other ones to these individuals.
To get money for various activities, Kewota also organizes membership drives all over the country. Between June and 5th, 2025, documents show Kewota conducted a membership drive in Muhoroni town and issued an official letter demanding transport refunds for members who joined the drive. A list of 71 fictitious names of teachers were created, and each was allocated 12,000 shillings in cash. Through an independent verification of this list, none of the teachers are aware that they received 12,000 shillings, and the CEO refused to address the allegations.
These are Madam Benta's own creation. We never visited. Even if you call any teacher whose name appears on this list, they'll tell you they've never seen Kewota in their region. But these ones we were doing so that we could give the external auditor time to make for us receipts to accompany these statements so that they could look factual.
The Wasin Gishu recruitment drive also had 66 fictitious names. Each of the ghosts were paid 12,000 shillings each.
They said meetings, there were no meetings. let me be frank with you, there were no meetings. These ones were Madam CEO's and Madam Treasurer's creation. They come up with plans and regions, then we fill in the forms. For example, this was Limuru recruitment drive, date between 10th to 11th February. Transport refund for 2 days for these teachers. So we get like this teacher, Madam Virginia Wanjeri Kabugu, TSC number 482093, was given 4,000. Then there's no signature here. These signatures, we would come and sign in the office. In real sense, this teacher doesn't even know that Kewota had gone for recruitment there, or Kewota used her name or his name during their recruitment drive. That's how it happens.
Problem with our employer is we have crafty people there. You can walk in there and you are given the TSC numbers of teachers. And what you do is you come up with a form, write the name of a teacher, TSC number, and you sign. Nobody who is going to counter check.
So they can say they are in Mombasa for a digital workshop, and they will try to say that there are teachers attending. So that it looks like a big thing, it is possible that their staff and the people in Kewota, and I think it has been proven, that they'll fill in names of people who actually didn't attend the course. Because first of all, and let's be very fair, their members never even signed a form to become members. So many of their members didn't sign a form to be members.
The Narok recruitment drive had 30 names, and each was paid 12,000 shillings each.
We are doing this so that in case of anti-corruption, people attempts to come to our office, we'll show them that we've been recruiting. If the Directorate of Criminal Investigation tries to investigate the association, we will tell them that we were actually recruiting.
The payments are also not structured but are also made at the whims of the Kewota CEO. For instance, in a letter to the bank to authorize June 2024 salaries, the CEO was allegedly paid a total of 930,000 shillings. 450,000 was also paid as salary to her Stanbic Bank Kisumu branch account, and 480,000 was also paid to her Absa Queensway branch account. Jacinta Ndegwa, the treasurer, had 200,000 shillings paid to her SBM bank account, 270,000 paid to her Family Bank Nyahururu branch, and 191,000 paid to her SBM bank account. Further, 38,000 was also paid to her account, bringing her total remuneration to a neat figure of 700,000 shillings within the same month. Teachers who talk to KTN say they are trapped, claiming they are automatically enrolled into Kewota upon employment, with deduction starting immediately and exit attempts blocked by TSC directors.
And we weren't briefed of anything of any value, and we weren't consulted, so we were really agitated. But that, you see, when you sweat and somebody just pop up and deduct your salary without a single reason, it's like they own it more than you yourself.
There is no way you can deduct money from a teacher, payslip, and get away with it. I'm telling you, Utalala committee. But these ones were able to be protected.
Linda, not her real name, is a teacher with nearly 20 years in service, is sounding the alarm over relentless and unexplained deduction by Kewota that have persisted for 5 years. Despite repeated attempts to opt out, she says her name mysteriously reappears on the deduction list within a month, trapping her in what feels like an endless circle.
I wish to kutoka, but pia kutoka is also frustrating. You log out, unapata umerudishwa tena.
If a teacher complains, we remove your name from the payroll or from the system for a month or two. Then thereafter, you are taken back. That region, let's say if Central region is making noise, the next month we will not deduct money from Central province. Third month, you will be taken back there.
The web of compromise stretches even further, drawing in the taxman Kenya Revenue Authority, which was paid 1 million shillings to make a looming tax issue disappear in thin air. In the month of November 2023, KRA wrote a demand letter to Kewota, claiming unpaid taxes amounting to millions. Like clockwise, the Kewota CEO engaged intermediaries. The taxman wanted 16 million in bribes. However, the CEO managed to negotiate the figure lower, and a sum of 1 million was agreed upon.
A message was sent to me over the same, and immediately after I received this message, we went and withdrew this money with the accountant. We withdrew 2 million, and 1 million was we left the CEO with that one in our office. I think she needed to she had some urgency or things to sort in cash. So the 1 million was delivered.
In a WhatsApp message, the Kewota CEO is seen complaining about the same KRA officers who are still demanding more money even after taking 1 million. When contacted, the CEO Bento Pande, who is currently under investigation by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI, declined to directly address the allegations, claiming she's being targeted by some people well known to her.
I know where this story is coming from a guy we sacked, who we are taking to court for defrauding the organization more than 9 million. I have the evidence. So once you expose, then we also go ahead with our staff.
There is no way any Kewota official, Bento Pande or anyone, can stand before teachers properly and address them. Because teachers will talk to her, the first thing they say, you stole our money. You took our money without our permission. You are a thief. They'll tell her that. And the people who are in Kewota and who may have put their signatures on anything to do with Kewota and using money that was taken from teachers without their permission need to answer. Kewota needs to be asked hard questions. How do they get the data of teachers to place them in their deductions, on third-party deductions? Kewota needs to tell teachers what they have done with the billions of money they've collected from teachers.
In one of the WhatsApp messages from Kewota CEO, she complains that an individual working under her was allegedly employed for sexual favors, and I quote, "The advice that John, not her real name in this context, is giving person X is very dangerous because no one blackmails me and succeeds. Just tell him that. As he lists ghost workers and relatives employed in Kewota, let him not forget he received millions of shillings from Kewota for sexual services he provided. He was employed as a boyfriend and he also brought in his brother." The CEO stated further, "It is going to be ugly if that is the line he has taken. Kewota is not a government entity. We employ boyfriends and relatives, and person X can take us nowhere. If he is more powerful than Sosion, I welcome him to the game. John is a dangerous person trying to force things on us. It won't happen. Let Kewota collapse." End of quote.
According to people who have spoken to us in privacy, they tell us that this was an organization meant as a kind of a retirement plan for senior TSC officials. That this money will be going there and this money will be transferred back. Somehow we'll also find back its way to some of those TSC officials.
From reliable intelligence, teachers have already been subjected to deductions this month, the total amount accumulating to millions. According to a bank statement in our possession, these funds are said to be withdrawn by a senior individuals from Kewota come next week.
Kewota needs to be asked hard questions. How do they get the data of teachers to place them in their deductions, on third-party deductions? Kewota needs to tell teachers what they have done with the billions of money they've collected from teachers because it's not small money. This is a relationship that has been on now for almost 5 years. So Bento Pande, you need to stand up and tell us and tell teachers on their faces, where did you take their money? Who are you in their lives? Why? Who gave you the authority to deduct money from their payslips without their knowledge?
For thousands of teachers, the reality is stark. Their salaries being deducted to support a system they neither understand nor control. The big question that abounds: why will the government support a system that exposes teachers? Lenox, Sengre, KTN.